Welcome to another Explainer. Today we're going to uncover the unseen architecture of the stories you love by exploring the true power of time, place, and meaning. If you've ever felt completely transported by a book, or on the flip side, if you've ever wondered why a certain plot just feels a little flat, well, the secret almost always lies in this setting. We're tearing down the basic ideas we were all taught about how stories work and looking at the gears turning underneath. Let's get into it.
Okay, here's our blueprint for today. We'll be covering 1. Why setting is more than just location. 2. Exploring space and time. 3. Zooming in on vivid details. 4. The functions of setting. And 5. Subverting reader expectations.
Section 1. More than just location. Now, many of us initially think setting is simply, where a story takes place. But the fundamental definition goes way beyond just coordinates on a map. It encompasses the complete physical, historical, cultural, social, and emotional environment wrapping the entire narrative. It helps answer not just the where and when something happens, but what the actual social conditions are, and deeply importantly, how those exact conditions are actively affecting the characters. Setting is an active participant in the story. It directly manipulates everything from character behavior to the overall mood and theme. Think about it. A story set in a haunted Victorian mansion instantly creates entirely different reader expectations and moods compared to a story set in a modern suburban neighborhood, right? A peaceful summer vacation opens up vastly different possibilities for conflict than a story set right in the middle of a war. Setting is quite literally pulling the strings. Section 2. Exploring space and time.
So, most settings are built on 2 foundational pillars. First up, spatial setting. This gives us the physical location. It can be real, imagined, historical, or purely fictional. Take the ordinary, small rural village in Shirley Jackson's famous story, The Lottery. That incredibly ordinary spatial setting is exactly what makes the shocking ending so profoundly disturbing. On the flip side, we have temporal setting. This defines the historical moment. It could be a massive era like the Great Depression or World War II, or just a really specific summer afternoon. Time dictates what characters know, what they believe, and what they can actually accomplish within their world.
But time within a narrative isn't just a ticking clock. Authors actually build entirely distinct temporal landscapes to dictate how time operates. Sure, you have linear time, moving in chronological order from start to finish. But you also have non-linear time, where readers have to piece together events through flashbacks or fragmented memories, which is absolutely huge in contemporary literature. Then there's psychological time, where time is experienced entirely through a character's emotions. Imagine a character waiting for life-changing news. A few seconds might stretch out to feel like hours on the page. And finally, historical time deeply connects the story to defining eras, like the Civil Rights Movement or the Cold War, setting up incredibly specific conflicts.
Section 3. Zooming in on vivid details.
Literary scholars differentiate between general and particular settings. A general setting is broad, like saying contemporary Florida, acting as a simple framework. But a particular setting goes much deeper. Imagine reading The story unfolds in a humid trailer park outside Tampa during hurricane season. It's a highly specific, concrete environment. That second description instantly creates a visceral, gripping image in your mind that a broad, general description just can't match.
We can break this down even further into the actual language used. While vague settings like he walked into a building offer kind of universality and flexibility, or maybe a deliberate sense of mystery, vivid settings do the heavy lifting for realism. Listen to this. He stepped into the abandoned train station where rusted metal beams dripped with rainwater and the smell of mildew lingered in the cold air. That incredible sensory detail maximizes your immersion and forces a much stronger emotional connection to the world.
Section 4. The functions of setting.
Okay, setting basically operates like an engine with 6 distinct gears. First, it establishes context, giving us the cultural norms so we know what kind of world we've entered. Second, it shapes character. A frontier settler and a modern city resident are going to possess entirely different values based purely on their environment. Third, it creates conflict. The environment can be a literal obstacle, whether that's a natural disaster, extreme poverty, or political oppression. Fourth, setting dictates mood. A sunny beach brings nostalgia and freedom, while a dark forest brings suspense. Fifth, it reinforces theme, like a decaying house symbolizing a family's moral decline. And finally, sixth, it supports symbolism.
And speaking of symbolism, authors use the physical world as a direct shortcut to communicate massive, unspoken themes. If characters are on a road, they're almost always on a journey of discovery. Oceans represent vast uncertainty. Prisons deal with confinement and restriction. Gardens speak to growth and renewal. Setting is literally the visual language of the story's subconscious.
Section 5. Subverting reader expectations. We are practically hardwired by centuries of storytelling to anticipate specific things when we encounter a specific place. These are our built-in conventions. If a story opens in a castle, our brains immediately cue up royalty, power, and dark secrets. If it's a small town, we expect a tight-knit community and gossip. If the characters head into the wilderness, we know for sure we're in for a tale of danger, survival, and self-discovery. We bring all this baggage with us before the characters even speak their first line of dialogue. But brilliant authors take those exact expectations and completely flip them. Think about how jarring and fascinating it is when a futuristic society isn't shining and advanced, but is actually primitive and oppressive. Or when a peaceful-looking manicured suburb is revealed to be hiding intense violence and corruption. Or, honestly, my personal favorite, when a scary haunted house actually becomes a place of emotional healing rather than horror. By deliberately disrupting these conventions, authors force us to radically rethink our assumptions and engage with the story on a much deeper level. Ultimately, the environment of a story isn't just where things happen. It is a powerful literary element that shapes character, conflict, mood, symbolism, and theme. It is the very fabric constructing the narrative's meaning. By paying attention to place, time, vivid details, and temporal landscapes, we unlock a whole new level of understanding. I want to leave you with a provocative question so you never experience a story the same way again. Next time you read a book or watch a film, don't just look at what the characters are doing. Instead, ask yourself, how is the unseen architecture of this specific time and place secretly controlling the characters' fates? Look deeply into the world-building mechanics hiding in plain sight. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring those amazing worlds.